Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association. If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 970-677-4119. Today's show runs Wednesday at noon, 3 and 6 p.m. and again is re-aired later throughout the weekend with the other weekday broadcast replays. Today is February 28th, 2018, and now the news at noon.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, Montezuma County Sheriff's deputies are looking for a man who failed to register as a sex offender on January 18th. Scott Guzman Gray, a county resident who has been convicted of misdemeanor sexual contact on a minor, is reportedly missing after he missed his required annual registry. On February 20th, deputies checked his last known address in the 19,000 block of U.S. Highway 491. In Durango, but found no sign of anyone living there. A warrant was issued for his arrest the next day, but according to the Sheriff's Office Records Department, he has not yet been found. According to the incident report by Deputy John Haynes, deputies' last contact with Guzman Gray was on February 1st when he was trespassed from a home in the 24,000 block of County Road F.5. Heather Mann of the Records Division said state statute requires law enforcement to check in with sex offenders at least once a year, and Montezuma County deputies typically do it every other month. On February 20th, Haynes wrote there were no cars in Guzman Gray's driveway and no visible furniture or personal belongings inside his house. The front door had reportedly been tied shut with a piece of twine. Said he called the last known phone number of Guzman Gray, but a woman answered and said he had the wrong number. Mann said Guzman Gray is not considered a sexually violent predator, and because his crime was a misdemeanor rather than a felony, he did not appear on the sheriff's online sex offender list until he failed to register. Guzman Gray was not considered dangerous, Mann said. As of Tuesday, his whereabouts remained unknown.
From the Durango Herald, with photo credits Jerry McBride, it turns out the song Legalize It by Peter Tosh, which hints at the financial benefits of legalized marijuana, got it pretty much spot on. City councilors, economic leaders, and industry representatives agree. Recreational marijuana has brought a lot of smiles, both as a successful business venture and a boon to sales tax collections. Recreational marijuana in Durango has meant more than $1.7 million in added sales tax collection since the first sale on September 25, 2014. Tim Walsworth, executive director of the Durango Business Improvement District, estimates about 200 jobs have been created in La Plata County. The legalized recreational marijuana industry has grown to be an important part of the retail scene, he said, noting that out of 18 different sales tax categories tracked in Durango, recreational marijuana now ranks 6th. The industry, he said, is making an effort to ensure city regulations are followed. He added they care about the community as well. They are donating to help out community causes. They're an important segment of Durango's business community. They just happen to sell a product that is illegal in 41 states. The first cash register to ring a recreational marijuana sales came in September 2014, but public data for sales tax revenue begins in March of 2015, when the city recorded $23,855 in sales tax collections from recreational pot sales. The number constituted 2% of all sales tax collections for the month. By June of 2016, recreational marijuana brought in $53,358 to city coffers, just over 3% of all sales tax collections for the city. The biggest haul for the city so far came in August of 2017, when retail pot brought in $75,749, or 3.4% of all sales tax collected. By comparison, medical marijuana brought in $8,629 in sales tax. The top generator of sales tax revenue for the month was department stores, which brought in $339,000 in sales tax collections, or 15.4% of all sales taxes collected by the city. In December 2017, recreational pot sales tax revenue came in at $41,802, a 24% decline from the same month in 2016. The trend continued for the first month of 2018, with January sales tax collections of $50,783, down 15.6% from January 2017. But even the recent drop in month-to-month sales tax collections of recreational marijuana has few people worrying. Pat Dalton, owner of the Durango Rec Room, 145 East College Drive, number 3, has a simple and seemingly plausible explanation for the drop in monthly sales tax collections coming at the end of 2017. Quote, "There wasn't any snow. We didn't have any skiers in town." However, the numbers have more generally been positive. In February 2016, recreational marijuana shops for the first time provided more sales tax revenue to the city than liquor stores, with $39,990 collected from retail marijuana sales compared with $33,743 from liquor stores. In July 2017, sales tax collection for recreational marijuana was $69,338 compared with $54,929 for liquor sales tax collections.
According to the Cortez Journal, the Ignacio Police Department is investigating a shooting that occurred last weekend, but authorities have released little information, citing an open investigation. Sergeant Wes Kroom with the Ignacio Police Department confirmed this week an open investigation exists into the shooting, but declined to provide any other information. Scanner traffic on Sunday, which is unconfirmed information, broadcast that authorities should be on the lookout for a suspect in the shooting that could be armed and dangerous. On Monday, a blotter item indicated someone spotted the suspect from shooting in Ignacio around 7 p.m. at Diggs Restaurant and Bar at 125 Mercado Street, which is located in Three Springs subdivision near Mercy Regional Medical Center. Because the Ignacio Police Department declined comment, it's unclear if an arrest was made related to the shooting or if the general public should be on alert with the gunman on the loose. The condition of the victim also remains unknown.
From the Journal, photos credit Jerry McBride. In a presentation to the Board of Commissioners on Monday, Shaq Powers, manager of the Montezuma County landfill, said he wants to see less food waste in the dump. Southwest Colorado composts just 1% of its organic waste, according to data Powers brought to the meeting. He said he would like to see more organic waste going to compost instead of the landfill. Melissa Matthews, environmental health specialist of the Montezuma County Public Health Department, said she hopes to work with Powers and local grocery stores to put more edible food in the hands of those in need instead of in the trash. As part of his monthly report to the commissioners, Powers outlined the 5-year waste diversion goals recently announced by the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment. He said he's not sure the state will be able to enforce some of its goals, such as banning all recyclable materials from landfills. Quote, "I think it's a well-intentional goal," he said. "However, I don't think a mandate's going to lead to anything but filled up arroyos and ditches." By 2026, the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment expects cities and counties to meet the national average, according to a report by the Durango Herald. By 2036, the state health department wants to see 45% of waste diverted from state landfills. The goals will not be enforced, but they are intended to encourage greater recycling and composting, said Wolf Cray, an environmental protection specialist in the Hazardous Materials and Waste Management Division. Powers presented data from the Southwest Colorado Council of Governments showing Colorado residents compost about 3% of all organic waste, which is low compared with many other states. Southwest Colorado composts even less at just about 1%. Powers said it's in the county's best interest to have less organic waste in the landfill because too much of it can cause environmental hazards like methane gas. It's also one of the few types of waste that can be put to practical use, he said. Powers has estimated that about 21 tons of food waste is dumped in the landfill each week. He has said that the Montezuma County landfill has had the permits to compost food waste for about a year and accepts food waste from residents for free. On Monday, he asked for the commissioner's blessing to meet with the county's garbage haulers and come up with an incentive for them to divert more organic waste to compost. Table to Farm Compost, a Durango-based company, picks up food scraps from 150 residential customers and 4 restaurants in town, which equates to about 150 to 200 gallons of organic material a day, owner David Golden said last year. Since launching in 2016, the company has grown steadily and operates within the city of Durango and Durango West, too. Matthews believes the mandates CDPHE has proposed could give the county an opportunity to, quote, "start the conversation with local food vendors about where their unused products go and whether they could be put to better use." Powers and Matthews didn't offer details about how they plan to implement their goals, but the commissioners said they would support them. "I think you should proceed with whatever becomes feasible," Commissioner Keenan Ertel said. Matthews said she would look into grants that could help the county start a food donation or composting program. Coming up next week, DCTV hopes to have coverage of what composting options are coming to light in Dolores County as well.
According to the Cortez Journal, 3 days after a report of a threat against Mancos schools led to lockout procedures and heightened security, a district employee has been cited for reportedly fabricating the report. According to a news release from Mancos School District RE6, Superintendent Brian Hansen, a substitute administrative assistant at Mancos High School, told school officials Friday morning that she had received an anonymous phone call from a man who said, "We are going to kill you all," leading the school district to go into lockout mode. But according to the release, an investigation by the Mancos Marshal's Office revealed that the assistant had fabricated the entire story. The assistant, Danielle Romero Keller, was issued a summons on Monday for false reporting to authorities and interfering with staff and students at an educational institution. After the Marshal's Office sent out a Nixle alert about the potential threat and parents were notified, many chose to check their children out of school. Classes ended just before 1 p.m. on Friday because, according to an announcement on the school's district website, too many students were leaving early. According to a report from Mancos Marshal Jason Spruill, surveillance video and school phone records showed that Romero Keller had called the school herself at 8:36 a.m. from her cell phone about 4 minutes before she reported the threat to Heath Showalter, the dean of students. She reportedly denied calling the school at first, but later in the day her attorney contacted Spruill and said she would turn herself in on Monday. On Monday, Romero Keller reportedly went to Mancos Town Hall and told Spruill that she had called in the false threat from a blocked number. According to Spruill's report, she said she had heard about a threat to the Montezuma-Cortez School District that was reported through Safe to Tell Thursday night, and she had not received any training on what to do in the event of a lockdown or active shooter. She reportedly said she was scared for her safety and made the call because she wanted to get all of the students and staff out of the school before there was an actual threat to the school. Hansen said Romero Keller had worked off and on in the school district for several years, but Friday was the end of her first week as a substitute administrative assistant. The school district conducts lockdown drills about twice a year, he said. Substitute employees are always invited to the training, but are not required to attend. He said he wasn't sure if Romero Keller had ever participated in one. Hansen said she had been fired as of Monday. And now let's take a look at the weather.
The National Weather Map forecast chart is indicating continued snow and rain mix in the Pacific Northwest and Northern California. Here in the Four Corners area, we are continuing with the potential for snow and rain and snow mix across Arizona and New Mexico. The low pressure system has shifted to our east, stretching from Texas up into Canada with continued rain and thunderstorms ahead of that track, and snow, rain, and mix through the upper Midwest. The red hatching marks indicate flash flooding now stretching across the southern states from East Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and over to the western parts of Georgia. Rains continue to batter the mid-Atlantic region and to the north, while Florida catches a break with clear skies. Regionally, we do catch a hazardous weather outlook notice stating that a weak disturbance will bring some light snowfall to the mountains today, but only 1 to 2 inches is expected from new snow. Outside of the mountains, variable cloudiness and seasonal temperatures are expected. The next chance for any significant precipitation looks to be Sunday as a cold front pushes through the area. The local DCTV 5-day outlook says today mostly sunny with a high near 40. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour becoming northwest in the afternoon. Tonight mostly clear with a low around 23 degrees. North-northwest winds around 5 miles an hour becoming south-southeast after midnight. And Thursday mostly sunny with a high near 43 degrees. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts as high as 25. Thursday night partly cloudy with a low around 27 degrees. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. And then Friday sunny with a high near 52, breezy with a south-southwest wind 15 to 25 miles an hour. And Friday night mostly clear with a low around 32 degrees. It's been a long time since we've been just close to freezing temperatures on the overnight. Saturday then it's mostly sunny with a high near 51 and breezy again. Saturday night, a slight chance of snow showers after 11 p.m., partly cloudy with a low around 29. Sunday, a slight chance of snow showers, partly sunny with a high near 38 degrees. Sunday night, partly cloudy with a low around 16. And then Monday, sunny with a high near 39. Monday night, mostly clear with a low around 18. And now back to the news.
Reported by the Durango Herald, a defense investigator in a Colorado death penalty case is behind bars after refusing to testify for prosecutors, saying that helping their effort to execute a defendant would violate her religious beliefs. A judge ordered the jailing of Greta Lindekrantz, a Mennonite who opposes capital punishment, on Monday after she repeatedly refused to answer questions about her work on the defense team of Robert Ray, one of the 3 men on Colorado's death row. Lindekrantz, dressed in an orange jail jumpsuit, refused to answer questions again in court Tuesday and was returned to jail. She has been ordered to return to court Wednesday, her attorney Mari Newman said. Ray's defense team is challenging his death sentence partly by arguing that he did not have an effective legal team. Prosecutors apparently subpoenaed Lindekrantz to testify to back up their case that he did have a good representation. They previously questioned Ray's original lawyers as part of the appeal proceedings. Newman said Lindekrantz worked for those lawyers and noted that prosecutors already have access to Lindekrantz's reports and other documents on her work. The lawyer said Lindekrantz would testify if not for the possibility that her testimony could be used to put Ray to death. She said Lindekrantz compared her predicament to being asked to shoot a gun at Ray not knowing if it was loaded.
BLM Tres Rios field office released a statement that they approved gravel pit expansion near Durango. The Bureau of Land Management's Tres Rios field office approved C&J Gravel's proposal to expand the Montoyo gravel pit in the Grandview area near Durango. The expansion allows the operator to continue producing gravel for local public infrastructure, commercial construction, and residential homeowner projects. The decision also entails rerouting portions of existing mountain bike trails in the Sale Barn area and authorizes the operator to construct a new bike skills trail as part of final reclamation in the existing pit. The trail will incorporate topographical features such as side slopes and hills to provide a variety of challenges for mountain bikers. Quote, "We appreciate C&J Gravel's efforts to help us ensure high-quality recreational opportunities in the area as they expand their operation," said Connie Clemenson, BLM Tres Rios field manager. The gravel pit first began operating on private property and in 1991 expanded onto BLM-managed lands in response to growing local and regional demand. Gravel mined from the Montoyo site is used locally to improve roads and to provide decorative rock for homeowners. The BLM supports working landscapes across the West through its many programs. Projected sales from the expansion is expected to generate annual revenues of around $139,000 to the state of Colorado and $96,000 to La Plata County. To learn more about the project, go to go.usa.gov.
Reported by the Durango Herald with a photo by Suzanne Arms. Root Rutledge, a Durango Democrat, has entered the race to challenge incumbent Republican Scott Tipton for Colorado's 3rd congressional district seat in November. In recent weeks, Diane Mitch Bush, a former member of the Colorado House of Representatives, and Carl Hanlon, Glenwood Springs city attorney, were the only declared Democratic candidates. This week, however, Rutledge, as well as former Eagle County Commissioner Arn Manconi, announced their candidacy. Each candidate will vie for the chance to upseat Tipton, who was first elected to the House of Representatives in 2010. As of Tuesday, Tipton was unchallenged in the Republican primary. Tipton won re-election in 2016, beating Democrat Gail Schwartz by a vote of 220 to 150,914. Rutledge announced his candidacy Tuesday in a news release to media outlets. He called himself an independent progressive Democrat who promises to promote the freedom and well-being of all, according to the release.
From CNBC, photo credits the Cattlemen's Association. What is meat? Back in the day, the distinction was simple. Animals are meat and plants are not. But now, it's getting a lot more complicated thanks to cultured, or what some might call fake meat. Companies like Impossible Foods and Beyond Meat are using science labs and farms rather than animal meat to create products that rival traditional grilling staples like burgers and hot dogs. The U.S. Cattlemen's Association is looking to draw a line in the sand and launch what could be the first salvo in a long battle against plant-based foods. Earlier this month, The association filed a 15-page petition with the U.S. Department of Agriculture calling for an official definition for the term beef and more broadly meat. While at this time alternative protein sources are not a direct threat to the beef industry, we do see improper labeling of these products as misleading, said Leah Biondo, the association's policy and outreach director. Our goal is to head off the problem before it becomes a larger issue. Not everyone sees it that way. Ethan Brown, founder and CEO of Beyond Meat, said consumers already know what they're looking for when they're browsing the grocery store aisles, but he doesn't necessarily see the petition as a bad thing. I think it actually could help us more than it could hurt us because it starts the national dialogue around what really is meat and if the origin of meat really matters to the consumers, said Brown. The cattle ranching group contends that if a product is going to be labeled beef, it should come from the flesh of cattle, and that means products like veggie burgers and Tofurkey won't make the cut. While these foods are commonly dubbed, quote, fake meat, there's a little more to the meat substitute market than that. The Good Food Institute, which advocates a sustainable food supply, breaks it down into two categories: clean meat and plant-based meat. Clean meat refers to meat grown in a lab from a small amount of animal stem cells. This kind of meat isn't on the market yet, but it is in development. Plant-based meat is anything that mimics traditional meat, but is made mainly using plant ingredients. Data from Health Focus International shows that 60% of U.S. consumers claim to be reducing their consumption of meat-based products. Of those cutting back, 55% say the change is permanent. So for companies cashing in on the growing plant-based food market, a naming war could make for a rocky relationship with the beef industry. To be sure, this isn't the first food fight over labeling. The dairy industry, for example, has had legal battles over product names like butter and margarine or milk and soy milk for years. Dairy farmers want to make terms like milk and yogurt exclusive. More than 20 years later, there's still no consensus. Now we're seeing a similar conflict with the cattlemen, and time may be running out for the government to pick a side in the labeling debate. Allied Market Research has said the plant-based industry could bring in $5.2 billion in sales by 2020, and that means a lot more fake meat products will be hitting the shelves. I think that clean meat and plant-based meat will make up the majority of meat purchases by 2050, said Almi. This is just the very beginning of a very, very big trend in the food industry, and I think that this is going to be the default meat that you get if you don't think about anything else. So while some see plant-based food products as a fad, others see them as a revolutionary force in the food industry. And sooner or later, U.S. agencies are going to have to make a call.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of February 19th through the 25th. San Juan County Dispatch reported a reckless driver eastbound from Monticello. A deputy followed the vehicle but had no probable cause to stop it. A multi-agency, multi-jurisdiction search for a missing airplane flying from Grand Junction to Albuquerque carrying 4 persons was completed upon locating the crash site 1.5 miles southwest of Eastland, Utah. Radio direction finding equipment employed by San Miguel County search and rescue teams located the plane via its emergency location transmitter. There were no survivors. Multiple slide-offs in Cross Canyon and Slick Rock during the recent snowstorms stranded over 100 motorists for several hours. The Colorado State Patrol never officially closed the highways, but the going was very slow. CDOT, a Dolores County deputy, San Miguel deputies, and the Colorado State Patrol all worked together to safely bring traffic moving. That concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
Today's High Canyon Country happenings, March 1st from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's the pruning workshop at the Yellow Jacket Southwest Colorado Research Station, part of the Montezuma-Dolores County Extension Office's Fruit Tree Project. It's $15 at the door, no credit cards, and you must bring your own chair, water, snacks, lunch, and dress in warm clothing. If you want hands-on pruning, bring your own pruners, and for more information you can call them at 970-677-2283. Then March 3rd, MORP is offering a fruit tree experience as well. Learn the valuable skill of grafting and take home 4 heritage apple trees grafted by you at one of the Montezuma Orchard Restoration Project's upcoming events. So a minimum of 10 participants are required and a maximum of 20 allowed. So please pre-register as early as you can to assure your place in the workshop. Although you can register at the event, first come, first serve. Let us know what workshops you plan to attend by emailing MORP at MORP, at montezumaorchard.org. And you can also pre-register and prepay at their PayPal account. Just write a note in the comment line or send us an email with which workshop you're paying for. The cost is $35 for current members or $45 for non-members. You may become a member at the same time as paying for the class. This class is from 10 to 12 and also at the Yellow Jacket Research Station. And all of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us by email dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station at 970-677-4119, and we'll be sure to get your news on air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. on each of those days. The weekday news shows are then replayed throughout the weekend as well. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and share it with a friend. For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.